Okay, it's up. Let's check it. It's live. Alright, okay, pop out the chat and then it'll all be set and ready to go. Let's just make sure that's working. Bear with me, won't take long to set this up and then we're into it. I do apologise for the helicopter. It's having to douse a fire right now. Okay, let's just check to make sure that's all working. And get over here. Healthier stream this time, which is good news. Alright, I'm going to pull out the plugs so I can hear myself, so you guys don't want to hear that coming through the microphone, so get rid of that. And I will answer questions after the live stream or near the end. Near the end. Right, let's just get that. Let's get that. My typing's not so great. Right, so questions after the live stream or near the end. Yes. Please post questions as I go, and I will get back to you. Alright, I think everything is updating and coming through. It's alright on OBS, that's all working good. The live stream is doing what it's supposed to be doing, as far as I can tell. Alright, cool. I'm just going to have a glass of water. This is the really hard part, trying to explain how prepared spells work. Probably the most difficult aspect. I've tried to sort of pull the whiteboard out and make it as simple as possible. But I will give an example. So yeah, let's give this a shot and see how it goes. Hi, welcome to How to D&D. My name is Fred Wheeler, and today I want to talk about Dungeons & Dragons 5e, and we're learning how to play Dungeons & Dragons 5e or D&D 5e, and this is the basics for the wizard. How do prepared spells work? We've talked about known spells, the spells in your spell book, your spell slots, and then you have prepared spells. There's like 3 different things you have to understand. So prepared spells are the spells that are written in your spell book that you have selected to memorize so that you can cast them during your adventuring day. Because just because you have a spell in your spell book doesn't mean you can cast it. You actually have to take some time to memorize that spell so that you will be able to cast the spell when the time arises. Now I'm going to be using the Wizard pre-made character sheet from the D&D 5e starter set. I'm going to pull this out right now so you can just shuffle him over. This is what we're going to be using as an example for this particular video. I want you to have a look at page 114 of the Player's Handbook for details on wizards and preparing spells, because it's actually quite complex. It's not even remotely simple. So I'm going to go through it step by step, explain it as best I can, and then I'm going to show you here my example, why it works that way and how it pertains and how you should utilize it when you're playing your wizard. So we will just leave that there for now. I'll get back to that in a second. So the first thing it says is preparing your list of spells requires you to have a spell book. And you need to be preparing spells that you have a spell slot available. So in other words, if you don't have spell slots at level 2, you can't prepare those spells. If you don't have a slot available, or you don't have those sorts of slots available, you can't take those spells from your spell book and memorize them, because you're not capable of doing so. So make sure you're not trying to cast spells at a level that's higher than what you are capable of. So what you do is you choose a number of spells that are equal to your intelligence modifier plus your wizard level. So this is what this is all about. So intelligence modifier plus your wizard level. So if you're level 1 wizard, you're going to add 1 plus your intelligence modifier. On this character sheet it's a +3. That means you get 4 spells that you can prepare to cast during your adventuring day. 4, no more than that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now just because you memorize and prepare 4 spells at level 1 doesn't mean you get to cast 4 spells. You can still only cast as many spells as you have slots available. So the cantrips you don't have to worry about, because you can cast them an unlimited number of times. But the level 1 spells at level 1, you're only going to get to cast 2 of the 4 spells that you memorize. Very, very, very simple. 2 of those spells you'll be able to cast. And what I've done here is I have selected some spells from the spell list that's provided on this character sheet. So they have written down for level 1 that there is Burning Hands, Detect Magic, Mage Armor, Magic Missile, Shield, Sleep. So what I've done is I've gone through my list and decided on the spells I'm most likely to need. Now Mage Armor, I need that. It's not a ritual, so I need to prepare that so I can cast it. I mean, that's like leaving you with only 1 slot left for the rest of the day. I know that sounds terrible, but you're better to have the Mage Armor than not to have the Mage Armor. So now I've got 1 more slot that I'm going to be able to actually cast, and I've selected from the spells that are available. I've gone with Sleep because it's quite a powerful spell. I've selected Shield to protect myself if I find myself in a bad situation, and I've selected Magic Missile so that I can hit something if it's really hard to hit. So those are the ones I memorize, and out of those spells I can select just 2. I'm going to select Mage Armor, so I cast that at the beginning of the day when I start my adventuring day, and then during my adventure I decide, okay, well I can pick either Shield if I need to defend myself, Sleep, or Magic Missile. So I select Sleep and try to put some giant rats to sleep. I've used all my slots, but I did have the option to use these other 2 spells if I wanted. That's how it works. It's very, very simple. Now when we get to level 2, it changes again because it's intelligence modifier plus wizard level. So my wizard level just went up, so I get to prepare another spell. Part of the reason why I did not prepare a spell like Detect Magic is it's a ritual. A ritual means I can spend 10 minutes outside of combat and I can cast that spell even if I've not got it prepared, as long as it's in my spell book. And I don't need to use a slot, because if I cast it as a ritual, I don't use up my slot. That's why I did not select that to be prepared. I don't need to. In fact, even though I can prepare 4 spells at level 1, let's go back to level 1. Even though I can prepare 4 spells at level 1, I could just prepare 2 spells. I could decide, alright, I've got 4 spells I can prepare. I'm going to prepare Mage Armor, cast that in the morning. I'm going to prepare Sleep, but I'm not going to prepare these 2. That means I have 2 slots. Well, not 2 slots, should I say, 2 spells that I can prepare at a later date, dependent on my needs. This is one of the great things about the wizard, is there's a time frame for actually preparing your spells. You can change your spell list after a long rest. Once you've had a long rest, you've taken a snooze, you can go and you can re-memorize and re-change your prepared list. There's nothing wrong with doing that, and it's exactly how it works. But if I decide to leave some of my spells unprepared, and I've only prepared 2 and I had 4, I can do the other ones dependent on my needs, and it only takes me 1 minute per spell level. So at level 1, it's 1 minute to prepare shield if I need shield, provided I know I'm going to be needing it, or magic missile. This is one of the great aspects of the wizard. It's versatile. It allows you to just take the things you're absolutely sure you're going to need and then leave a few unprepared spells so that you can prepare them later on through your adventure, because you won't ever find yourself in a situation where you prepare exactly the right spells for your day. Now at level 1 it's very simple. You have limited options, but as you increase in level, your options will change. The number of spells in your spell book will increase, and yet you still won't be able to prepare every single spell in your spell book. You'll have to be discerning. You'll have to be selective about how you go about doing that. So that is the basic concept behind it. So why do I have to have prepared spells, known spells in my spell book, and spell slots? Honestly, I have no idea. This is how the designers have put it together. I've just tried to explain it to you. At level 2, like I said, we're going to ditch this. At level 2, you get an additional spell that you can prepare. So I could add another one to this list if I wanted to, because it's intelligence modifier, that's +3, and wizard level, which is 2, that comes to 5. When I go to level 3, I get another spell that I can prepare from my spell book. Level 4, same thing, and so forth. It just continues on like that. So that is how working out your prepared spells differs from the spells actually in your spell book and your spell slots. So I'm going to take questions very shortly. If you found this video helpful or informative, please share and like the video. If you are not subscribed and you want more content like this, then subscribe and you'll hopefully find out about my channel's, well, I have a lot of videos. I've got over 400 videos. If you want occasional notifications, there's a bell underneath the video. Click that, and hey, look, it'll only give you occasional notifications, but I do videos almost every day, so you probably don't need to click the bell. But if you want to make sure that you get them as they're timely coming through, then click the bell and that'll notify you occasionally that they're coming through and there's a new video available to watch. If you want to support my channel, watching my videos is really, really helpful, because I get a bit of ad revenue. If you want to really support my channel, the affiliate link in the description, I get a small commission when you go and purchase something from that affiliate link, and you pay exactly the same price. In fact, you don't even have to go and buy the thing that's linked in the description. You can hit the link and then go somewhere else, buy something else, and I still get a commission, and you pay exactly the same price, and you help my channel. I do not do Patreon, and I have no intentions to change. That's just how I work, I'm afraid. I feel like people paying for my content is not where I'm at this particular time. But if you're serious about supporting me, the affiliate links work great. Now, if you want to ask questions, I'm going to answer those questions after this live stream. I'm going to leave it running for a little while. If you're not part of the live stream, I'm going to answer any of the questions you put in the comments. You put in the comments, once it's published, I will answer those questions. I answer pretty much everything that comes through, apart from occasionally I might get a snarky comment and I might not respond to that. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s. Hi Paul, just give me a second to get my voice back. Right, I don't know if you're still in the room, Paul, but I'm glad you enjoyed the video. You got here, I love how you make things simple that seem complex. Well, it's the problem with the wizard. It is very complex. It's not even remotely simple. And I've actually done 2 videos to explain the concept of spells known in a spell book, spell slots, and then I did a separate video for prepared spells so that you can see the difference. And hopefully it's been concise enough that people understand what I'm talking about, so when I finally release it, it'll be helpful. If there's any more questions regarding preparing spells, known spells, and the spell slots and how spells work broadly for the wizard, your time is now, because I'm about to go offline, take a break, and I probably will be back with another video on another part of the wizard, as we are doing the wizard today. And I've got through a fair amount, not nearly as much as I had hoped, but you can't rush things. I feel like the wizard is a very complicated class, and actually requires a bit of time, and it does mean sort of breaking things down into little pieces. No questions? Well, that's good for me. Look, I'll leave it up for just, I don't know, a couple of minutes, because I probably will cover arcane recovery and ritual casting and follow-up streams. I feel like I should probably cover something like the ritual casting that the wizard does, because although it's fairly simple, it's also very important. And I also feel that arcane recovery is important. I haven't talked a lot about arcane recovery, but it does change the dynamic of how you can utilize your spell slots as you're playing the game. Okay, alright, it looks like we are done, and I will sign off and go rest my voice again, and come back in a little while and discuss the next aspect of the wizard.